Good morning and welcome to Morning Walk. So what do you intend to do today? Well, it's been said that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Before I go any further this morning, welcome. Glad you've joined me on this beautiful Wednesday morning here in Vero Beach on the Atlantic Ocean. So what about it? What are your intentions today? For that matter, what is a good intention all about? Well, a good intention is a decision to do or not to do something. So, what good intentions do you have today? Are you wanting to change something about yourself? Are you trying to change how you do something you don't like that you're doing? Well, let me ask you, what's the purpose of your good intention? Well, often it is to achieve an outcome, a desired goal, to better yourself by doing something positive, doing something different, by quitting a negative behavior. Are you accomplishing that? Well, as we begin to evaluate our good intentions, and we may begin to realize that behind all of our good intentions, almost got swept up there by the water, almost as I said, as we begin to evaluate our good intentions, we begin to realize that behavioral modification is behind all of them. That good intentions are not necessarily Christian. So, how have you attempted to motivate yourself, with those good intentions? By maybe you picked a Bible verse this morning and you're going to focus on that, or in attempts to get closer to God, by attempting to experience a spiritual renewal. Maybe you haven't felt like you are where you're supposed to be spiritually. Again, notice the focus. As you intend to do things, tends to be all focused on you. And so, as we truly begin to evaluate things, we recognize that we need to begin to listen to God. We need to hear the voice of God. That unless we receive a revelation from Him, that essentially all of our efforts are ineffective, because they're based on our own self-resolve, and that's minimal at best. And it's often rooted in our own willpower, and that's often based in the fleshliness of sin. And so our well-intended efforts are not much more than self-centered desires, which frankly are all about us, aren't they? They're all about us and not about deriving from the Lord His activity and what He might be wanting to be up to in our lives. And so it's not all that surprising that we begin to realize that many of our good intentions never even materialize, or at least they're short-lived, aren't they? And if they do materialize, they never quite turn out the way that we anticipated, because good intentions are based on your ability. And Jesus is the one that said, apart from me, you can nothing. You can do nothing. So, what then is a spiritual perspective of intentions? Obviously, God has some intentions for our lives today. So what's a biblical or Christian concept of all behavior or good intention? Well, that would be the gospel. And some of you might be thinking, well, that's a little simplistic, Don. Oh, don't underestimate the gospel. The good news of the indwelling, dynamic life of the risen Lord Jesus Christ. So my question this morning for you is this: what is Jesus doing in you? What's he up to? And whatever his intent is, that should be yours. Participating with him would be God's intent for your life. Jesus is the motivating source and enabling ability of all that we as Christians should be doing, intending to do. To accomplish what? To accomplish his good intentions in your life. So may I encourage you today on your walk of faith that you would listen and participate with him. Give us a thumbs up for this video. Subscribe if you haven't, and please share these with your friends.